and Maple Grove's going to have it.
Right out in front, they score!
Welcome to the Sports Jam for the week of December 14th. I'm John Jacobson.
And I'm Jay Wilcox. Ahead on this week's show, a great matchup in boys hockey, and we'll meet a Wayzata girls hockey standout in our Sports Jam Spotlight.
Plus, we'll hear from the up-and-coming Maple Grove wrestling team. But first, boys basketball. The high school class of 1991 will be celebrating their 25-year reunions in 2016. At Wayzata, that senior class of 91 includes Trojan boys basketball players who have the distinction of being the last Wayzata team to beat Hopkins. The current Trojans hoping to end that long losing streak. Amir Coffey running a break. Great pass. Ismail El-Amin for the Hopkins basket. The Trojans spread the floor. Johnny Benega to Jack Sawada for the hoop and foul, but the Royals lead by 15 at the break. The Trojans go on a run in the second half. Sawada follows the miss and slams it home for two. Next time down the floor, Benega drives with the left hand, scores with the right, cutting the Hopkins lead to 47-40. But Hopkins comes right back. Coffey, another great look to Simon Wright for the easy two. Wayzata rallies again, though. Benega fights off the Hopkins defense and drives for the hoop. It's 75-70 with less than 90 seconds to play. Then Benega hits a three-pointer to make it 77-73. Wayzata comes up just short, and Hopkins ekes out this victory by a final score of 79-78.
Wayzata and Hopkins didn't have a lot of time to recover from that one before hitting the court again for the Breakdown Classic. A total of 15 games were played Saturday at Minnetonka High School, featuring some terrific talent. A good turnout of Maple Grove fans to watch the Crimson play Wayzata. Gavin Baumgartner passes to Ty Galinsky for a three-pointer early on. It puts Wayzata up 5-3. But it turns out to be the last lead of the day for the Trojans. Brad Davison drives and lays in two for Maple Grove to give his team a 16-7 lead. He finishes with 15. And Davison dishes to Reed Nicko on the baseline. The big man hits the 10-footer. Crimson lead it by 13. Off a Wayzata miss, the Crimson get out and running. Teron Pickford with a nice finish for two. Maple Grove leads by 20 on the long afternoon for Coach Brian Schnettler and his Trojans. Second half, and Davison with a nice feed on a bounce pass to Tywan Pickford for two of his game-high 25 points. Jack Sawada's the top scorer for Wayzata. He nets 15 in the game, but it is Maple Grove's day. Watch Nicko at both ends of the floor. His block leads to a break for the Crimson, and he'll finish with a big dunk at the other end as Maple Grove wins 70-47. They are now 4-0.
Also at the breakdown, Champlin Park taking on four-time defending Class 3A champion De La Salle. Chris Davis for the Rebels, second chance off its own miss, scores putting his team up 15-12. But the Islanders are the better team for much of the first half. Gabe Kalsher taking of the distance here and scores two of his 30 points. De La Salle is up two. Will Irvin into the lane, hits two more for the Islanders. Coach Dave Thorson's team leads Champlin Park by 4 at halftime. Second half, Brian Smith with a big three for Champlin Park. That pulls them to within one, 46-45. McKinley Wright comes up big for the Rebels after halftime. He slices through the defense here for two. Champlin Park is in the lead by 7. 6'9" junior Theo John puts the ball on the floor, drives, scores, and is fouled. He netted 22 for the Rebels. Watch Wright here with the great move to free himself up for the 18-footer. He scores 26 points in the game. Champlin Park is now 4-0 with a 75-68 win. They'll host Hopkins on December 22nd. Also at the breakdown, number 2 Hopkins knocks off number 1 Apple Valley 89-81. 5 Hopkins players scored in double figures in the win. Osseo stays unbeaten with a 56-52 win over Eden Prairie. Alan Anderson had 13 points. Cameron Betty and John Bezdacek added 12 each. And Benilde-St. Margaret beat Katz and Manderville 74-60. Eli Cave had 24 points to lead the Red Knights. Earlier in the week in boys hoops, Park Center hosting Osseo. Osseo gets out ahead early. Alan Anderson reverse dribble, drives the lane and scores. It's 8-2 Orioles. Anderson with 12 points on the night. Kyle Williams to John Bezdacek. And then quickly to Zach Tyson for the layup, and Osseo gets the transition game going to lead by 10. Park Center loses the ball. DeMario Armstrong wins the race here and then pops the three-pointer for the Orioles. They go up 29-15. He scores 13. Williams is a strong guard. He battles through contact to score here. He's one of 7 Orioles with at least 9 points in the game. Coach James Ware and the Pirates trying to battle back. Quick passing here results in a 3 for Oliver Sudu from the corner. It's still PC trails by 15. Osseo dominates this one. A crossover by Williams leads to 2 more as Osseo rolls to a 98-58 win to improve and stay unbeaten on the season.
Now to wrestling, where rivals Osseo and Maple Grove hit the mat for a dual meet. In the 113-pound match, Maple Grove's talented 8th grader Joey Thompson puts the cradle on A.J. Aitken and gets near fall points. Thompson wins 14-0, and the Crimson take a 4-3 lead. Osseo returns the favor at 120 pounds as Dominic Smith uses the cradle to score near fall points against Michael Worley. Smith wins a 12-0 major decision. Osseo goes up 7-4. At 138, Mitchell Lewison gets the takedown and near fall as he beats Tyler Rengel 20-6. Still as Orioles trail at 13-11 at this point. It's mostly Maple Grove from there. Akota Aiken pins Damon Lingeson in the 145-pound match. And ranked 4th at 152, Logan Dick of Maple Grove moves up 2 weights and gets all he can handle before pulling out a 4-3 win over Osseo freshman Taylor Meisner. Aaron Fisk gets the pin for the Crimson in the 182-pound match as Maple Grove pulls away to beat Osseo 41-20. We'll hear from the Crimson later in the show. Maple Grove came back Saturday to win a championship at the Minneapolis Edison Invitational with 190 team points. Washburn was second, followed by St. Paul Central, Cretin-Durham Hall, St. Paul Harding, and Brooklyn Center Concordia. In gymnastics, a good Champlain Park squad won its Luau Invitational meet, scoring 140.675. Anoka places second with Park Center third at 131.775. Osseo is 7th. At the high-powered Minnetonka Invitational boys swimming meet, the host skippers take the top spot ahead of Eden Prairie and Egan. Wayzata is 4th with Cooper placing 8th. And so, John, a lot of good competition in all sports over the weekend.
Nice championship wins for both Champlain Park Gymnastics and Maple Grove Wrestling. Next up, a number 1 versus number 2 matchup in boys hockey, plus girls basketball highlights. Welcome back to Sports Jam. And like in boys basketball, the top 2 teams in the state Class AA boys hockey poll met up.
Yeah, and this was a great game, too, as second-ranked Benilde-St. Margaret's hosted number 1 Eden Prairie. Benilde's Zach Risto forces a turnover near the Eagles' blue line, then sets up Augie Moore for the backhander, and it's 1-0 Red Knights after 1 period. In the second, Connor Mayer takes a big hit, but Benilde gets the shot on net. The rebound comes to Nick Austin, and he winds up for the slapper to score. They add another goal to lead 3-0. But Eden Prairie comes back. Nicky Lieberman's shot hits traffic. Nolan Sullivan has stopped once, but he lifts the backhander in to make it 3-2. They tie it later in the period. And watch this one. Moore spins and feeds it back to Risto. Hits the goalie's pads. Cade Gleekle nudges it over the line for a 4-3 BSM lead. Eden Prairie answers with 2 in a row, though. Lieberman's point shot is kicked out, but Sullivan sweeps the rebound in. The Eagles lead 5-4. Benilde ties it on a great effort. Moore steals it and goes in on a shorthanded breakaway and tucks it home. It's a 5-5 game, and we're headed to overtime. On a power play in OT, Risto works the give and go and snaps the shot in. That's the game winner, and the Red Knights topple number 1 Eden Prairie.
Oh, we knew before coming into the game it was going to be a huge game. We had all the fans there, 1 versus 2. We knew even if it was a close game, we have to retaliate, and that resulted into us going into overtime, and I ended up putting it in from the help of all my teammates on the ice.
Well, the Wayzata and Breck boys hockey teams each have dreams of playing in the state tournament this season. Wayzata's in AA, of course, and Breck in Class A. They met up last week in Plymouth in another good one. Late first period, the puck deflects off a skate at center ice and settles right in front of the Wayzata goal. William Blake puts it in, and Breck leads it 1-0. That's how it stays until early in the third. Mark Senden breaks in alone and scores for the Trojans, and we are tied up at 1 apiece. Down the stretch, a few near misses for both teams. Tyler Scott rings the post here for Breck. The other end, Jeff Greniger and Tyler Stevens both hit iron for the Trojans late in the period. So it goes to OT, less than 2 minutes in. Senden zips the wrist shot home for the game winner. Wayzata takes it by a 2-1 score. So big win for the Trojans. I think a game like that helps Breck a lot too, though, playing a good AA team like Wayzata.
You know, both those teams are going to be there at the end in their respective sections, you would think. And Benilde-St. Margaret's a great start for them. They are unbeaten now, likely you would think be the #1 team in the poll this week.
Yeah, you sure think so. When you knock off the previous #1, that was a great hockey game.
All right, well, now to girls basketball, where Champlain Park opened the season with losses to top 10 ranked teams, Hopkins and Lakeville North. Their opponent for the conference opener was no pushover either. New head coach Josh Steck and the Rebels hosting defending Section 5 4A champion Centennial. Second half, Claire Orth hits the floater, and the Cougars lead 42-39. The Rebels' Amanda Pollard takes this one all the way to the basket herself to score and give Champlain Park a 1-point lead. Allison Garrett drives hard to the basket and draws the foul to score on her way to a 20-point night. After falling behind 52-48, the Rebels go on a 14-0 run in less than 4 minutes. Hannah Cribble scores. The Rebels are up by 4. Then Erica Hicks feeds Cribble down low for 2 more. The senior leads all scorers with 26. Cribble dribbles here, will draw the defense, and dish to an open Gavin Maki for 2, and Champlain Park leads by 10. And they continue to put the pedal to the metal. Garrett's with a baseline drive for 2 more. Champlain Park gets its first win of the season. 76-56 is the final. Also in girls basketball, Cooper went on the road to play Columbia Heights. Good passing for the Hawks leads to an easy 2 underneath for Alexis Nance as Cooper jumps out to a 13-6 lead. Kiara Coops with a deep 3-ball for Cooper gives the Hawks an 8-point lead, and they quickly expand that margin. Asia Wheeler gets the steal and takes it all the way for 2. And then watch Wheeler steal the inbound pass, and she'll drive in for 2 more points. The Hawks are up by 18 at this point. They lead 17 at the half. Second half for Coach Kiara Buford's team. Unique Longs gets to work, stealing the length of the court drive here in the layup. And she has a big second half for Cooper. Longs picks up the loose ball and will set up Wheeler with a bounce pass for a layup. Wheeler nets 19 points on the night. And Longs is all over the court. 2 more here for her off a steal. Cooper routs Columbia Heights 67-32, the Hawks' first win in 3 games.
Osseo and Park Center each have pretty strong teams this season in girls hoops, and they had the first of 2 meetings this season at Osseo High School. Second half action, Park Center runs a nice weave, resulting in a short runner here for Danielle Schaub. Osseo goes inside to Azaria Reed, and her shot in close won't fall, but Kate Klein gets the rebound and puts it in. The Orioles are up by 6, 49-43. Schaub sets up Ann Simonet for a 3 from the top of the key. The Pirates are within 50-46. Nice passing for Osseo results in an open look for Michaela Hamola. She buries it to give Osseo a little cushion at 57-50. Park Center fights back to within 4 on a 3-point shot by Summer Blakemore, but it's Osseo winning at 66-60 over their district rivals. So a nice win for Osseo to get against Park Center there.
I would look for quite a few more wins for both of those teams yet this winter. Next up in our Sports Jam Spotlight, Jason Melillo has the story of a standout forward for the Wayzata girls hockey team. The Wayzata girls hockey team is off to a great start this winter, and a big reason for that is the play of junior forward Natalie Heising. Jason Melillo profiles Heising in this week's Sports Jam Spotlight.
Natalie Heising's talent as a scorer and playmaker is obvious. But Heising's stat line this season doesn't tell the whole story. Heising scraps in the corners, she backchecks, she works up and down the ice. And that all-around effort is what makes Heising such a key player for the Trojans.
For me, I don't care who gets the game-winning goal or who scores or whoever gets the points. the whole team is contributing, the whole team is working hard, and my part is being the best player that I can be and doing everything I can to help the team, whether that's scoring goals or not, and that's what a lot of our team players try to do.
Nat's the kind of kid that'll go through a brick wall to be successful. She's very driven, very determined. She's the kid, every time the whistle blows, she looks at me on the bench trying to get me to put her out on the ice, trying to will me to change the lines. When we're doing drills on ice in practice, she always, be ready to end the drill and blow the whistle, be like, no, coach, let me go one more time. I want to go. You gotta let me go. And I think she might try to beat me up if I don't let her. So I always let her go. But she's a great kid. She's a great team leader.
Head coach Becky Wacker says top to bottom, this is the best team she's had in her 6 years at the helm. But over the next 2 months, the Trojans will have to play through the buzzsaw of the Lake Conference. Currently, 4 of the 5 teams in the Lake are ranked in the top 10. Wayzata also feels it has some unfinished business once the section tournament rolls around. The Trojans have lost in the section final 2 years in a row.
Emma Bigham on the rebound, and Minnetonka goes to state.
We have so many returning players, and we have so much new talent coming up, that I think this year is a great opportunity for us. I mean, we want it so bad that we haven't had it in a very long time, and we want to get to that spot.
The last time and only time a Wayzata girls hockey team made the state tournament was in 2005, when Natalie Heising was 5 years old. She has experienced the emotion of the state tournament as a fan, though. In 2013, Natalie's older brother Chase was a key player for the Wayzata boys and scored the overtime winner in the Trojans' first round game.
I mean, just those games were surreal for me and my brother and for my family, because just, those big moments really kind of bring a lot to hockey and what it's all about. And you can just see how much fun it is and how exciting it is when you score a big goal like that or you win a big game like that. And just wanting to be a part of that is something that I've always wanted and what hockey brings to me, and I'm sure to most players.
Natalie Heising and her teammates know they have the talent to do something special this winter, but really, they're just focusing on continuing to get better every game and every practice. If they do that, they believe good things will happen. Jason Melillo, 12 Sports.
Though she still has another year of high school hockey to play, Heising is already verbally committed to play college hockey at Penn State. Next month, she'll play for the U18 women's national team at the IIHF National Championship in St. Catharines, Ontario. Wayzata did lose for the first time Saturday, falling 5-0 to rival Minnetonka. Sports Jam returns in a moment as Jay talks wrestling with the Maple Grove Crimson.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. The Maple Grove wrestling team scoring a win over their arch rival Osseo on Friday night, and we're joined by a couple of the Crimson wrestlers and also Coach Troy Seubert. And we'll start with Jack Herbies, and obviously this big rivalry in every sport, but what was it like to come out and get it done against the Orioles on their home mat here tonight?
It was great. We had both teams fought really hard, but at the end we pushed it harder. We came out, we worked hard, and we ended up coming out with the win.
Yeah, there were a lot of matches that both coaches, when I talked to them, weren't, not entirely sure about. Some inexperienced guys or some things, but you guys pulled out some close ones. What was kind of the key point or the key stretch for you guys, did you think?
We had a lot of guys that stepped up. We had a lot of guys that were going up in weight, a lot of guys that showed that our work and practice has came to our meets.
You guys have some young guys that have stepped in and done fairly well this year. Are you kind of excited about the rest of the season for this team?
Oh yeah, we have a lot of good young guys with a lot of potential moving on, and this year we're gonna have a great year, and I think moving on with our young team, we're gonna have great years from on.
All right, thanks for joining us, and good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you.
And Gavin, Peterson, you guys came out and get the job done. Is it fun when there's a nice crowd like this and it's the big rival night?
Yeah, it's great. It's what I've been waiting for since the season started. It's my favorite duel. It's what most of us have been waiting for. It's the dream. I love wrestling out here with a lot of people and getting a good win, helping the team.
What do you think about your team's performance so far this season overall?
Overall, we've done great. I mean, we've done better than I expected. We've had some rookies wrestle varsity and they stepped up and won their matches. We've been great so far.
Feels like when you get toward Christmas, it's sort of like the halfway point. What do you guys work on in these next couple months to get ready for the home stretch?
We want to hone in on our technique. It's crucial, and we don't want to get rusty over winter break. Keep practicing and get better.
Congratulations on the win here this evening, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Yep.
All right, and Coach Troy, you guys came out and got the job done. There was a big stretch where you won. I think it was like 6 of 7 matches here against Osseo. Did this one go somewhat the way you expected?
I think it went the way that we hoped it would. We wrestled well. We won the matches that I think we were expected to win, which is always good. And then we pulled out some of the ones that were kind of toss-up matches, and that's how you win duels. So they wrestled great. We won the bonus points, and we came out on top.
Is this good to get this kind of experience for some of your younger guys too? Not just the match on the mat, but being in kind of a pressure atmosphere like this?
Absolutely. With a young team like ours, they're learning every time out, and giving them different experiences like this, and being able to come out on top, but really just be part of it is so crucial to their development.
Got some tough stuff coming up, another tournament in the weekend ahead, but also Totino Grace. A lot of people kind of intimidated by them, but you guys say, hey, let's roll the dice and go in there and see what we can do.
Right. Well, Totino's probably the top team on paper on our side of the conference, so we're looking forward to that one, and we're going to go out there and wrestle the way we can and let it happen, basically. But I think it'll be a good experience no matter what.
Troy, thanks for joining us. Congrats on the win here against Osseo.
Thank you.
All right, Troy Seubert, the head coach for the Maple Grove Crimson wrestling team after a victory here over their big rivals from Osseo. We'll be back to wrap up Sports Jam right after this, but first let's take a look at our plays of the week.
Comes in front, a backhander, and a goal.
There's a hat trick right there for Emily Ock. Just a beautiful play. Picked it up. Just pretty.
Celebrate winter on a frozen lake. Mark Saturday, February 6th down for the Fire and Ice event at Parkers Lake Park in Plymouth. Get more details at 12.tv. Head to the New Hope Arena on December 22nd and 23rd for the Armstrong Cooper Girls High School Hockey Holiday Classic. Find out more at 12.tv. Malmberg's Garden Center and Greenhouse would like to help your group or organization raise money by offering you a great opportunity to sell poinsettias. They not only make great gifts for family, friends, and customers, they're also a great fundraising vehicle. Your group pre-sells the poinsettias and you only order what has been pre-sold. After delivering beautiful Malmberg's grown poinsettias, your group keeps the profits from your sales. For more information or to see pictures and the order form, go to malmbergsinc.com. Ring in the New Year in style at the December 31st New Year's Eve event at the Plymouth Ice Center and Lifetime Fitness. Get more details at 12.tv.
Our game of the week is a boys basketball battle between Northwest Suburban Conference rivals Park Center and Armstrong. Watch the game live Friday night at 7 on Channel 12 and 12.tv, or catch the replay Saturday at 7 or Sunday at 4 p.m. And that will do it for this week's show. Thanks for watching Sports Jam.
Some more great matchups in the week ahead, and we'll have all the highlights for you next time around on Sports Jam. See you then.